Hey, Mike. Welcome back to all of you to our weekly conversations. It's great to have you here, Mike, with us. And you're
Thank you.
sheltering in place. I'm actually at the church office today.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we had a wonderful week last week, Holy Week, uh, lots of different services. And we were trying to abide by the restrictions that everyone's living into, these
Mm-hmm.
shelter in place. But kind of maybe you could just kind of help everybody to understand what we did last week.
Yeah. So thanks. It's good to check in with you all again, and hopefully you all are well. Last week we had the opportunity to meet in the sanctuary, but practice very clearly social distancing, physical distancing guidelines. To go ahead and record some of our Holy Week services, and so we were able to go ahead and create the liturgies for not only Monday, Thursday, and Good Friday, but also Easter. And we also had a wonderful Easter vigil that was online through Zoom that was in person. So that was an excellent opportunity just to gather, a real joy to see those folks who were able to join us. And apologies also for those who were trying to get in. Technology didn't allow it. You know, we're in this space of trying to figure things out again. But just a lot of thanks last week. Special thanks to Anne Krentz Organ for her music leadership, Beth Ann Lynch and Paul Edison Swift for working with us on the technology and videography side, and of course Claire Butner and Susan Pinto, who continue to support us at the office and being able to upload these things. And these are all still available online, right? Right, Pastor Johnson?
Yes, they are. Absolutely. And I would just echo your thanks to all of those folks who are doing a yeoman's job of trying to make sure that our technology is up to snuff and that all these things are recorded in the right orders and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. So there's a lot of people spending a lot of late nights making sure that these services are available and wonderful. And I really did
Yeah.
enjoy the Easter Vigil. That was great.
Mm-hmm.
It was so much fun to see so many different faces, even though we didn't have a chance to talk very much. But
Yeah. Yeah. No,
um,
absolutely. That was
and
great.
the storytelling, everyone did a beautiful job of uniquely telling the story. Even had one of our stories told from the Oval Office. That was
Shout out to our
amazing.
confirmands on that. So
That's
that was
right.
pretty great.
That's right.
Yeah. So continue to check those out if you're interested. They're still online. You can find them through our Come Let Us Worship website on the St. Luke's website, or you can directly navigate to YouTube and look for St. Luke's PR video, and all of our services and as well some devotions are up there.
Super. Hey, and
And
tell me what's going to be happening this week.
yeah. So really exciting. Last week, Bishop Yahel Curry from the Metro Chicago Synod sent a notice to all churches saying that he's going to be preparing a sermon to be shared within our online services this week. So we're actually going to be having a special appearance in this week from Bishop Yahel Curry of the Metro Chicago Synod as our preacher. So really looking forward to that. We also have, we'll be going back, at least for the time being, to our Zoom kind of worships. So doing the worships from our individual houses, once again, trying to practice that physical distancing and in the midst of trying to abide by the shelter in place. So we also have some other exciting things this week, don't we?
We do. We're going to be doing a second Zoom group with our Sunday school kids at
Yeah.
10 o'clock on Saturday morning. We're going to be having some fun with water as we
Oh,
talk about baptism and uh, talk about different things that we use water for. So we're going
yep.
to have a nice conversation with our kids. We had a great time last time. I think we had 15 families that joined us
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks ago for Saddest to Gladdest. And so we're hoping to do these every 2 weeks on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. So we'll be sending out an email just
Great.
reminding families about that. That's coming up this week.
Wonderful.
And just a little bit about I was going to ask you, how do the midweek devotionals go?
Good. I went ahead and today uploaded my second one. We talk a little bit about the gospel reading for this upcoming week, John 20, and get to navigate a little bit deeper into Thomas actually, what it means to be encountering our fears, encountering our disbelief, our unbelief, and how those moments, it's Jesus doesn't blame Thomas for seeing is believing, right? And so how can we, hold on to the midst of connection and wanting to use our sense of touch and sight to give us faith in times of which are very hard, and as we navigate in the midst of our pandemic today. So,
Looking forward to seeing
and
that.
and I'm hopeful next week will include one of my other greatest passions, which is cooking. So a devotional while cooking. So for
Fantastic.
those are interested, we can
Fantastic. That
put it
sounds like
on
a lot
next
of
week.
fun.
Yeah.
And just want to give you a little bit of an update on the call committee.
Yep.
We have been meeting regularly. If you did not notice, we did send out an email earlier this week, or maybe it was last week, I think, about a survey that we're taking to kind of help us to create a congregational profile so that when we start looking at pastoral candidates, they'll kind of know what makes us tick as a congregation. And so there's some really important questions on that survey. We'd like to have that survey completed by midnight tonight. So if you get this afternoon or this evening, we'd love for you to just go online if you haven't had a chance to do so yet and fill out that survey. Or you have, after the fact, some remarks that you want to make sure the call committee is aware of. You can always send those to me via email, and I will pass those along to the call committee chairs as well. So what's going on within our community and our church, the larger church? Can you tell me a little bit about what's happening in ELCA these days?
Yeah, absolutely. So the ELCA is just earlier this week put out an appeal for response for COVID-19. Over the next couple of months, and who knows how long really, will be continue to be impacted by COVID-19, the pandemic. But absolutely, over the next couple of months, as the wider church, the ELCA, responds to COVID-19, whether it's through our global partners, whether it's through domestically. The ELCA churchwide office put out an appeal earlier this week for funds to respond. And so in similar ways that people might have donated towards a Lutheran disaster response appeal, or maybe in a way in which people did the campaign for the ELCA, how they were able to give money directly to the campaign, or to different Lutheran disaster response initiatives and appeals, etc. In a similar fashion, the ELCA churchwide office is putting out an appeal for COVID-19 response. So the Lutheran world, the Lutheran network, reaches very far, which is one of the beautiful things about our denomination, about our church, through Lutheran social services here and domestically, working with companion churches around the world to respond to those who are really suffering and continue to suffer from this global pandemic. So for folks who are interested, definitely feel free to reach out to me. I know that we'll be putting the appeal hopefully in the community happenings for this upcoming week. If it doesn't make it in this week, it will be in the next. So know that the response, one of the beautiful things about Lutherans that we continue to hear, right, and I'm sure you've heard this, in terms of different disasters, we hear that Lutherans are the ones who stay.
That's right. That's right.
And it's a response that it's just not in the immediate time, but something in which we were able to be present for the long term of our communities. And I think especially now as we deal with them in the midst of this pandemic, how we can continue to not only focus on the here and now, but ways in which we can continue to be positive influences in the intermediate and long term. So I know we have that going on a national level, and I've been able to, be a part of those conversations for my other job. But what about locally, Pastor Johnson?
So we've been getting some messages recently that the Main Township Food Pantry was, their shelves were bare. They've been helping a lot of different people. I guess they've had a couple of different changes there. They lost one of their bulk food vendors through this whole thing. So we originally were doing the 40 items for Lent, but because of the COVID thing just happening at that point, we thought maybe it'd be safer if people just brought their foodstuffs down there, or if they made a contribution. But as it turns out now, they're looking for some foodstuffs. So we're going to provide 2 emergency food drives
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow, Thursday, as well as on Friday of this week. Um, the one tomorrow is going to be from 1 till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We're just going to have a trailer parked right out in front of the church here. People can drive by. We have people who will take things out of your trunk or out of your car, or you can just place them by yourselves, not getting near anybody. We're going to certainly keep social distancing as the framework of that. We'll all have masks and gloves. You can just place it in the trailer, and then 3 o'clock, we're going to be bringing the trailer down and delivering the food. And then again on Friday, that will be in the afternoon. Excuse me, that'll be in the morning on Friday from 10 till noon on
Mm-hmm.
Friday. So it'll be 1 to 3 tomorrow, Thursday, April 16th. And then on Friday, it'll be on the 17th from 10 till noon. So it's
That's
our attempt to
wonderful.
do that. Also, if you go on our Facebook page, you will find a way to go to the GoFundMe,
Mm.
which will help to raise money. There's a local group raising money that way. So we're just trying to do our part to make sure that
Yep.
people who are, have lost jobs or are displaced have food. So that's a very, very important thing. So any other last words, Mike, that you want to share?
No, I think that's wonderful. And I think a couple of our high schoolers and confirmation age kids are helping out with that food drive as well. So,
They are. Yes, they are.
just really wonderful to be able to come together and support our local community in the midst of it all. So, yeah, that's excellent, and hopefully people will turn out for that. But other than that, just really thanks for the wonderful support of the ministries here at St. Luke's. If there's other things that we can do for you, if there's people who are in need of some prayer, or someone who can shop for someone else, we are here at St. Luke's to serve you all. So we continue to pray for you diligently during this time especially, and know that we are very excited to continue to connect with you in meaningful ways over the next couple of weeks before we can see each other back in person. Hopefully
Amen to that.
as soon as is safely and healthily possible. So,
Right. And we're going to take our cues from what they say in the state of Illinois.
mhm.
Mayor Lightfoot, they will kind of give us our cues as to how we are going to kind of reopen
Mhm.
once this pandemic kind of moves through this next stage. So, but
Yeah.
for right now, the best way to keep safe is to stay in place as best you can.
Yeah.
And we will try to reach out to you through this method and through the written word. We are also going to be sending out letters this week to all of our members who don't use electronic media to keep them up to speed on what's going on as well.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, excellent. Thank you so much, Pastor Johnson. And we'll see you all virtually, St. Luke's, in the next week.
Thanks, Mike, very much.
Take care.